I don't know. Shit.
Oh, hey, the chat showed up for the first time.
You got it?
I did.
What is this? What's going on here?
That shit goes so hard, man. Every
Hell
time
yeah.
I haven't listened to that in a hot second. That means it's been too long since we've done a Missio Monday.
Why have we not done a Missio Monday in a while, D? Where have we been?
I mean, there's been a lot of really good reasons because you boys have been working their tail ends off.
Yeah, you see these
Um,
eye bags? Fucking tired.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, fuck, where to begin? I mean, the headline is that we spent like a little over a week or a week, about a week in Mexico City, um, uh, like just in complete artist mode, which we'll get into later. We'll kind of unpack some of our fun experiences, which are just bucket list kind of stuff. So we're very we were totally immersed in that and felt like it was the right thing to do to just kind of be fully in that moment. So excited to share that with you guys. Yeah, I mean that's the main reason. But there's been a few other little like side burner things that we got cooking up as well. Actually, quite a few little pots on the stove right now.
Yeah. Man, we can start with network. I mean, we have been pretty adamant over the years, especially since COVID happened, trying to do this as independent as possible just because things were getting so expensive. The world was crazy. We couldn't really afford to tour. There were a bunch of different things we had to deal with. And then we got hit up by this random label that we were like, this is interesting. And so we had kind of been talking to them for a while, and they are actually really artist friendly. Like, shockingly, one of the first that we've encountered where they actually give a fuck about the artist, which kind of piqued our interest even more. And then after taking a bunch of phone calls and just kind of going through what our vision was, what their vision was, we were like, shit, man, is this? We felt like we have so many songs coming down the pipeline, and we both feel like these are some of the best songs we've written, that it begins to become hard when you're trying to set yourself up for success, but you're going up against these labels and artists who are spending millions of dollars on their marketing campaigns. And then there's like Missy over here, and we're like, hey guys, check out
Yeah,
our brand new single. We got about $500 to push it. And so I think this is really going to give the music the chance that it needs to kind of go to the areas it needs. But we're super
yeah,
excited. I have not been
yeah. That
excited
was
about
like
labels before, but I'm very excited.
that was a really long-winded way of saying we're signing a fucking record deal,
Yeah.
and we're really stoked about it. Which it's believe us that when we say that, like all the things Matthew said, we've learned so much in this business, and we're only really open to looking for situations that allowed us to grow Missio the way we wanted to grow it, and even so we're excited about this. There's like a kind of like a spiritual kind of element to like music, I think, when we've experienced it in a lot of different ways, but it definitely feels like the last few months there's been like a collection of energy around the art that we've been making on this album cycle. And like we're getting to see some people line up behind it, and I just feel like there's a lot of really exciting things to come in the near future. If you're a Missio fan, which obviously everybody here is like a diehard, which so I think that's like kind of some of the good news. That's it's hard to really that's not something we're gonna post about on Instagram or something like that. But being a diehard Missio fan myself, I'm really excited about what this next few months, year, short term future looks like, because I've been that way for a while because Matthew and I have had these songs, and these ideas for these big ideas for this record that we've been working on, and they've been our little babies. But again, we're getting to see a lot of really good energy come behind all of this new music that we've got going on. So man, it's really just exciting times. So
Yep.
cause for some celebration in the Missio world.
Yep. And I think something else we can announce is we're getting pretty fucking close to dropping some new music for y'all. Don't
Yeah,
want to give you all any specifics, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
definitely.
How do you feel about some of the new music and kind of what we've been working on?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, everything that the new record will be starts with "I am sad," um, and is that what you were talking about? I didn't really understand your question, Matthew.
Yeah, just I mean, I am
Were you talking
sad
about "I'm sad," or
slash
you mean like the new music? I didn't
well,
know which new music you meant.
any and all above.
Got you. Because then my brain, like a really like ADD person, just went to like, oh, Mexico. We need to talk about that too, because I got really excited about that. So,
Sí, señor.
but yeah,
Sí.
so like, I mean, before we talk about Mexico, I feel like for everybody on this, like this is something that we're really working hard to get right, but we've kind of alluded many times. There's a whole big group of songs that Matthew and I have been working on, and it's really gathering a lot of steam, as we've mentioned, and it's kind of there will be groupings based on emotions, and we're not going to tell you all of them, but there are going to be multiple like themes that each EP has, and this it all kind of starts with "I am sad," and like that is the first kind of emotional themed topic that we chose to dive into, and they'll each build from there, and sort of have a story connecting them all. So there's like a lot to follow along with. As always, we've got it all packed in there, but
Yeah.
like that's kind of the so like we're in Mexico. We're working on a couple of these other EPs, which are like very, very different emotions from just being completely sad. So, um, yeah, it's been my thoughts around writing those this new songs has been like specifically being in Mexico. Okay, going there for a second because we should just talk about it. Um, that felt like a dream come true. I don't know how else to say it, right? Like as like for me, I go back to like the moment I knew I wanted to be in a band, like pretty close to the moment. Like I was reading about like Led Zeppelin and their insane songwriting experience when they wrote Led Zeppelin 3 out in this cabin, and like I was taken by this like fantasy of like traveling to this distant land or this space, exotic, remote, and having a space to create and write in. So like to me that was like that's as close to like core birthed out what inspired me to even pick up instruments and go further was like kind of that dream. And so I feel like this was kind of like in so many ways, just me and you like going together, like not like a huge team or anything, just like really two brothers, two friends going together and doing life in Mexico City, walking to the studio together every day, like, and taking breaks, going getting tacos, and just, I mean, dream shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
It was
it's
awesome.
I feel like I spend probably too much time following politics and things here in the United States. And I just was at the place too where I was overwhelmed by kind of just what I'm seeing on the news and what's going on here and all these mass shootings and blah 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 blah. And going down to and there's a lot of places like this, but specifically La Ciudad de Mexico, there are feelings that I got that I just don't experience here very much. Like for example, you walk down the street, you're walking everywhere for the most part, and then you're walking through a park at night and you're seeing 50 old couples all dancing together on a Friday night, or you see 200 people rollerblading past you with dogs and like everybody's, and you're just like, dude, where does this happen outside of maybe a couple cities like New York or something like that? Where everything is so community driven, and I just like my anxiety felt better. I felt healthier. I was inspired by the art and the culture there. learning and practicing my Spanish, which I love doing. Like that was amazing. And then typically we're on a vacation type vibe, and this, to your point, felt very much like we were just working. Like it was every day, wake up, go to work, walk back, hang out, just like have a good time. And man, it was overwhelmingly inspiring. Is just
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, it also felt like, I mean, we're in the middle of it, so take everything I say. I'm like kind of a hype man when I'm in the creation mode, but man, I'm telling you, dude, it was some fire out there in Mexico, dude. We
Yeah.
were on it. We were on it, dude. Like,
Dude,
it's
we
like,
were tapped into the goddamn source. I don't know
yeah,
where the energy was coming from, but there was a source plugged in, and you and I were fucking
yeah,
plugged.
yeah, man. It was that, like, again, like, I don't know, like, there's a lot of goals I have for Missio and being successful, and do all the things bands are supposed to do, and grow and play big shows. But like, those moments, man, are like what fuel me, and like I want to, like I'm addicted to that. Like,
Yeah.
those moments are incredible, and they are the reason they're the reason that I love what we do. You know what I mean?
I think there were both times in the studio where we both were just brought to tears because we were
Oh
so.
yeah,
I mean, it's rare for me to cry very often, and I just felt so overwhelmed. Like I was singing a song about the struggles of what's happening in the world right now. And in that moment, I was hit with the fact that I'm in Mexico City with one of my best friends, doing music, living the best possible life that I could possibly find for myself or create for myself. And like, I just felt so overwhelmed by the fact that it was like why me? Like, why the fuck am I here when there's so many other people who are struggling and trying to just fucking make their ends meet? And I'm like, why? Like, I don't feel like I deserve this, but it was that overpouring of love that I felt in that moment where I was just like, man, I think I told you I'm so happy. Like
yeah,
I don't know how to deal with this emotion. I'm so happy right now, man.
yeah,
It's,
man. That is special, man. It's man, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to process. My version of that moment came, like, there was just one night, like, again, my personality is just kind of like a focus drive. We're just going, 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 going. And then there was like one night, you know, we got super baked and we are just like, oh, fuck it. Let's actually listen back to some shit, and it was just all a mess. Because when I'm working, a lot of times the mix is all over the place. But man, it didn't even matter. We listened back in that moment, and I was just brought to tears listening and getting to,
yeah.
like, those moments are the closest we ever get to listening to a Missio song, like you guys get to listen to them, like, because we pour into them and listen to them a gajillion times to kind of get them where we want them to be. But like, for some reason, we were just, the way we were working this particular time, it was like I had no idea what I was even pulling up next. I was like, what is
Yeah.
this song?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, my main hope is that some of those feelings that you and I experienced there, that's what pours out through the music, and that's what people can feel. I hope through
yeah,
some of that stuff. Like I'm reading a bunch of these comments now, um, just about how much our music is a safe space and has helped people get kind of through their lives. I'm just, man, it's overwhelming. Like I can't believe that music does that. So it's awesome. I'm so happy for y'all.
yeah.
um, okay, well that's a little update. Obviously, we wrote some just fucking amazing songs down there. We have aggressive songs. We have some smoke type West Coast vibe songs. We've got some really upbeat, bright songs. Like I think we're giving you a very solid mix of Missio.
Definitely.
All right, and then we have this "I Am Sad" playlist too that we just dropped today, which I think is pretty cool. I've been listening to that a little bit.
Yeah, so
What was
gosh,
the
man,
what was a little bit of
what
the
a journey.
inspiration
First
behind
of
that?
all, again, hype man over here, going to step up to the plate. If you have not listened to the I Am Sad playlist, you're missing out. And
Hold
you
on, let
have,
me. I'm gonna send a link in the chat.
oh, yeah. So we've got it over on Spotify. We've got it on YouTube. And we're working on getting it other places as well. So if it's not wherever you listen, honestly, let us know and we'll try to get it there. But yeah, so like, there's a lot of really special things that this playlist kind of idea represent to me. And like, in so many ways, this next record cycle for Missio is uh, kind of, in a way, us kind of separating our sound a little bit and focusing on, like I've mentioned, different themes and whatnot. And so this sad theme, the first takeaway when I listen to all these songs, which Matthew and I I haven't listened to this mix of songs maybe ever. So
Yeah.
but my first takeaway, I'm curious what your takeaways were. Well, mine is we write a lot of sad songs. Like, we've got like 2.5 hours of like all fresh, not repeated sad songs. It's like, damn, we're some sad
I'm,
motherfuckers
I'm
too.
looking right now. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that's after 3 deleted songs, one of
Yeah,
which
dude,
was
we
like a max
edited it, man.
long. Oh shit.
So okay, what's like, I've got a few takeaways because I always, what were some other your takeaways when you were like kind of putting the list and listening to it?
Uh, I don't know how we found the time. Like this is one playlist, and I'm looking
Oh
back
yeah.
at like what our last 6 years have been, and it just I look at all of the work and all the albums, and I'm like, when did we do all that? Like, what?
Right.
I don't. It's just we've just been like cranking shit out for
Yeah.
so long that I was kind of to you. I was more shocked of like I can't believe that
Yeah.
we have this
Well,
many
like,
powerful songs.
absolutely, man. Like the fact that they just keep going is awesome. I mean, people probably watch this and be like, these fucking guys just over there fucking hyping shit
Ego
up.
assholes.
Hey, that's what you do, man, you know?
I'm blowing my own mind, guys. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's like,
Fuck
yeah,
off.
we were just blown away mainly by how many incredible songs there were. That's just so hilarious to me, man.
But for real,
but
dude.
but yeah, honestly, we can't lie. It's the truth. No, but for real, the one of the things that struck me was that, like, if you haven't been like following, which, first of all, if it's totally fine if you're not following every single day. I don't follow anything like that, so it's all good. So it's like, I say that to say that there's probably a lot of people out there that maybe aren't that familiar with every single part of the Missio sound. They maybe know like one or two songs. Oh, I love ICU, or I love Middle Fingers, or whatever part of it you love, whatever it is, but like, I felt like it's like, okay, well, there's a couple of like very strange versions of songs on this. What are they? So like, Skeletons
Yeah.
is so fucking cool, man. Like, the whole concept of Skeletons. I'm gonna unpack it for people just so you know what it is when you're listening through the playlist. There's a group of songs that are kind of like, a lot of them are titled Skeletons. They're from Skeletons albums. Essentially, what that is a lot of times Matthew and I will write a song that's like a huge banger, but the lyrical content is like super sad, and we end up kind of doing acoustic versions, but we don't really like to call them acoustic versions because there's kind of an expectation with what that's supposed to sound like. So we call them skeletons, kind of like stripping them down to their bones. And so, but again, just pointing out something that I personally love as an artist about these skeleton songs is, we don't usually just play the songs acoustically. Most of the time there are new chordal structures, and like, and I credit that to Matthew because he's a psycho and very talented classical piano player, but it's one of my favorite parts. And we could talk about it a little bit of what our process is, but like, to do a skeleton song, like, we don't just like, okay, well, what are the chords? Okay, let's play those. Da 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 da. What's the melody? Da 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 da. it's usually like, okay, the lyrics are going to stay the same. Everything else is fair game to switch and kind of needs to switch, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so, anyways, it yields like some really creative musical things. And the other thing that's on that we do with Skeletons is we've collaborated with some excellent string players and captured live strings, which frankly are very rare in most music. Like if you hear strings on it, it's probably a sample or like a key playing it. And so it's like just because it's very rare to find and be able to record it and capture it all. And so it's like that's something I'm super. I when I listen to those recordings, I just hear those strings and I'm just like I love them.
Well, yeah, there's also a freedom in the Skeletons songs too, because a lot of times we'll focus on the big songs. We want to write the hits and like the big songs that are going to poke through. But then there's no pressure. It's like we can focus on the art at that point and the creativeness of it, which we definitely do for all the songs anyway. But I feel like in this day and age, AI is kind of pushing through a little bit more, which I love AI. I see the future in it. But to your point, having the real feel of just a stripped down, maybe acoustic guitar with some strings, or maybe a piano with raw takes of vocals of you and I, and some of the imperfections of those, like that is music. That's what live music is. And it's a little sad to me that we're missing that in a lot of modern day music. So this is kind of our way of kind of keeping a lot of our early inspirations and some of the things that really made us feel and love music, doing that for other people and hopefully inspiring other artists to feel like they can do the same as well. But man, some of
Yeah.
those have just blown me away.
Well, I do absolutely, and I think songs in this category are like as you kind of said earlier, they're what we started the band around. We started the band around like we'd both had spent years trying to write songs that were going to be hits or whatever in different ways, shapes, or form, different projects, different roles. But like there was like a great commonality and like battle cry that we both shared around just writing our you were doing a lot of the writing in the very very early stages, but I was producing, and we were united in our vision of like just writing depressing cinematic dope shit that,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was like
yeah,
and so that's what all these I Am Sad songs, they just kind of remind me of the what started Missio.
yeah. There's also the Love Me Whole soundtrack, which I oftentimes forget about, but that's for the score for our documentary that we did a few years ago. And I listened back to some of those. It was a goal of ours. We talked about it early on. We would love to score a film. We still do want to score an actual, like, real
Yeah.
feature film. But when we were talking about doing a documentary, and we were like, okay, well, we could get somebody to score it. And we were like, fuck that. We're artists and musicians. We should definitely score our own music. And that's exactly what we did. And there was a lot of learning curves. And just like, I remember us trying to figure out how to get the visuals on the screen while we were tracking the audio. And we were like, how the fuck does this work? I don't understand this bullshit. But it was awesome. And it alluded to some of these songs, which in my opinion are some of the most beautiful songs that we have. And there's no vocals, it's just instrumental vibes and following the moments of what was happening with the photos and video stuff. But slept on for sure. The whole EP is slept on. Goddamn.
Bro, like every time I think of has nothing to do with music, but this is what you get. I'm in a talkative mood right now, so this is just what everybody gets. But one of my favorite memories from that was when Buffalo. Well, I don't know what she ate, but there I had something on the ground. If it was an edible or it was just weed droppings or something, but she got super high because we were just sitting there like Matthew and I were working on this documentary film, and Buffalo was just super chill out. It's the only time that she's ever been really high, and I freaked out, and I took her to the vet and everything. So everything was all good.
I
But
remember picking her
oh
up and
my,
her head was like,
we're like, oh shit, she's baked. Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, anyways, that is what resulted from like, dude, I don't know. There was some that was one of the most marathon. We would just sit and vibe out for hours and hours.
well, and some
But
of that
yeah,
early stuff too. I'm also thinking we were still living together at the time, and so we had all the time in the world. Like,
yeah,
I mean, we were always just working and cranking shit out. So, um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to. I'm looking through here. I run to you. That's an early Missio song that is still to this day like one of my favorite Missio songs, just because it just has so many different meanings for me. But that is one that I kind of forget about. Um, some of the songs off of "Can You Feel the Sun," like "Don't Forget to Open Your Eyes," I think is one of the best
Oh,
songs that we have.
that
And
sounds slick. Yeah, I haven't listened to that in a hot second.
yeah, it's just like these. What I've started to realize is every album I used to be like, this is I want this to be the best album ever in the world, and like this is the greatest music we've ever done. But when I really think about how quickly we've worked and how many albums we have at this point, they're all just awesome memories that I can kind of tap
Yeah.
back into and be like, this is where I was at the moment. This is where you were at the moment. This is what I believed at the time. This is what I was doing at the time. And like, they're kind of like tattoos a little bit where you look back and you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
I remember that memory. Like, that was awesome. But there doesn't have to be so much weight about, I want it to be a success. I do want all of our songs to be a success. But it's taken off the pressure when I feel like a song is being slept on. Doesn't matter. It's just a beautiful moment in time for us that is hopefully going to continue to speak to other people in the future as they discover these songs, which is I think a nice mindset to have for my own mental health personally.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's all those things and more, and like, and just like combined with the knowledge of all of the years that we've had now taking swings and like learning, you learn, and you just learn more and more about what you value. At least we do. I mean,
Yeah.
well, everybody does, I guess. Like if you value chasing the whatever the thing is, then maybe you get really good at chasing the thing. But like we're learning what we value in terms of being artists, and you know, it's always a struggle. I know there's a lot of people out here that follow us that are also kind of like independent entrepreneurial type business owners or whatever, and there's always struggles, and that's just the way it goes. But you just have to be fulfilled by the like that side, that other side.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's we were talking before this, but I love making music with you, man. It's
Oh hell yeah, man.
I look at the last I don't know 7 8 years we've had together, and I never like I'm thinking about when we first met, would I have expected to be here? Like when we were meeting at Brew and Brew back in the day at that coffee
Oh
shop,
yeah.
I couldn't have ever fucking expected that we would be doing this shit, man, in
Dude,
2023. Like
no
it blows
fucking
my mind.
dude. We were making some plans though, dude. We were fucking
Hell yeah.
really like talking about it and being professional about it, and but no idea what was coming. You know,
No, well,
that's
and to be honest, you and
fact,
I are
dude.
just psychos because like
Bro,
we take
I was
a
sitting
lot.
over there, dude. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna be a producer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna help this artist. I had no fucking idea,
have
bro, what I
like
was
three
doing, man.
dollars in the bank. We're like, let's
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
go,
Take it till you make it, dude.
go.
Oh, yeah, man. Man, it is. Yeah, I have no idea how it worked out. We got so lucky, but yeah, and I mean, I think like I said, the future is bright.
Hell yeah, the future
um,
is bright, man.
it is. It is. I mean, I'm way too positive on a sad playlist call, but I can't help it, dude. There's just too many good shit, too much good shit going on in the Missio world right now. For me to be too sad. But we should talk about the sad stuff, because it's important. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been listening to the sad music. They're like, hey, I'm really sad right now. What about this?
Yeah, Rise Matthews. Rise Matthews. How did you both meet? It's a question.
Um, I got introduced to Matthew. You were in a different band and I was producing, and we had a mutual friend who was producing Matthew's band, um, and I just knew him as well. And I had this studio right here that I'm in, which is just I kind of converted the garage in my house to this space, and my plan was to start recording bands in my garage and eventually blow up as a producer. That was my plan, and so I was booking bands, and he was like, "Hey, let's team up," because I think you guys were looking for a place to physically record, which is how I got my name in the hat.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so we just basically hit it off. We worked on a little EP, and then Matthew and I had a great chemistry.
Well,
You know,
actually, one story before that, I tell this a lot, but you were doing pre-pro with us with that old band, and our buddy was supposed to be kind of the pre-pro guy. Pre-pro stands for
yeah,
pre-production, FYI, for those who don't know.
yeah,
And David comes in for like a quick afternoon, and we start working on song one, and like he's just slaying my buddy in the producer world, um, and just like offering all these insane ideas, and I'm like, dude, this is what I've been looking for, like a motherfucker who knows what the fuck he's talking about. And
right.
so I was really really impressed with David. So I knew kind of from that moment, at some point I wanted to work with him on something else. There was a lot of different politics in that band, um, which is why I ended up fucking ditching everybody in that band.
Yeah.
Uh, but I just remember being so impressed by you as a producer and what it just instinctually could bring to the table and what you heard with some of the stuff. I mean, I'm trying to remember the name of that song where I ended up slamming on my keys at the end of it, and we're just
Dude, that
like
was the moment, bro.
playing guitar.
The moment when you said all that shit, I instantly knew. I don't even know the name of the song, but there was a song where essentially, like, don't take any offense to this, but you guys were just a bunch of church kids at that point in time,
Yeah,
and I wasn't from that world,
yeah,
and like, so I was like, dude, you guys are just being way too lame with this shit. You need to break it the fuck
yeah.
down,
Yeah,
and
and
we
by
need to go
like literally,
hard
well,
right
literally
now.
by church kids, you mean like we were literally playing in church services.
Yeah,
Like that
you
was my
guys,
job.
that band was literally playing worship
Yeah.
services to pay the bills. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is true.
Can you
Yes.
imagine fucking playing Temple Priest now at a church service? Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I was like, and there was like the rager kid inside of you is probably like, hey, there's a rager kid inside of that motherfucker that I get. And so
Yeah.
it's rooted in that, it's rooted in like, this shit needs to go harder, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, that's part of, again, it's the dichotomy, because there's the beautiful, dark, sad stuff mixed with, it wouldn't be it's not a complete picture of who we are as a band to just stop at the sad, though, which is where we've been for a while. And I know there are people commenting that they're like, hey, where's the aggressive shit? Well, hold on, it's coming. You're gonna have to wait longer, because life is about cycles. It is. And it really, and so it's gonna come, but you're gonna have to go through some pain and suffering first to get it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All
Hell
right,
yeah, dude.
let's open this up to some calls. A couple things, some rules, some ground rules. Um, no, are we coming to your city questions?
I
No.
bet we still get one. I bet we still get one. But and if we do, I'm gonna not be mean, because I'm gonna try my
I will.
hardest.
I'll be mean.
Matthew will be mean, but yeah, we're still working hard on coming to all of the cities, and we promise, as soon as there's an update, we will announce it here, likely
Yeah.
on Missio Monday. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
So no, none of that. We will get that info to you soon. Let's try to keep it at like one question, max two. If you try to get a quick question in there, last time there were people taking like 15 minutes, which was beautiful, but we're
one question, just
just,
one question.
just trying to get people through a little bit quicker. And outside of that, free game. That's really just the ground rules. Some of those things took a little bit of time last time, but I will open this fan line
I
up.
think you got to post the number again, right?
Yeah, I'll open this up. There you go.
Uh,
All right.
bam. Fucking on it. Love
There
it.
you go. Start calling in. Oh, here we go. First answer. That was fast.
You got to post the number again, right?
Yeah, I'll open this up. Hello?
Hey, it's Missio Monday.
Oh, look. Guess who? I was like, guess who's gonna call? But it's gonna be sweet and short this time, and I'm the first motherfucking one on.
I had a feeling you were going to be the first. I saw you've been on there for a while.
Yeah, well, I was looking. I was like, what is this little thing down here? Because it said like 2 or 3 people like waiting. I was like, is that just like the officials or is that people? And I was like, I have this shit saved. Anywho, so
What's
yes,
up,
not
Sugar?
15 minutes. Hey,
How are you?
I just wanted to get. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome because it's Missio Monday. Um, Question: do you guys hear the music that's on hold whenever you're waiting for us to get on there?
No.
No.
What is it?
Oh man, I was gonna ask if you were like strutting around too, because it's kind of like I don't know. I asked Tony about it, but I don't know if he was listening to it. Okay, so my question. Hold on, flippies. Question: are you coming to? Just kidding.
You son of a bitch!
Oh, man.
I wanted to ask. I think I called the wrong number. I was calling for Matthew's Flower Shop.
What up? What up? I got you.
Yeah. Yes. I just wanted to say hey, and it's awesome to hear what you guys are telling us because I feels it. It's crazy. Like I've talked to a couple of friends that I have made through Missio Mafia and concerts, and it's like little things that are like connecting with one another, and I feel like it's the experiences you guys must have had in Mexico, like just I can't even explain it, but I know how I'm feeling. Like y'all are just throwing out like electric vibes at everybody. So thank you.
You are
Heck
more than
yeah.
welcome. We're trying to
Yeah.
chase.
So
Well, I don't know where that energy is coming from, but we're trying to chase it wherever it is. Seems to lead us to new places
Missio
every month. But,
magic.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been something that I mean, honestly, it's been something since around January. There's almost a specific date. I texted Matthew and I was like, "Yo, dude, we just turned the page. We opened a new chapter, and it has nothing to do with the new year. There was just fresh energy and like another kind of like cool like good news is we've been working with a manager for the first time in a long time. It's been going well, really awesome.
Fuck
Aston
yeah.
been killing it. That all happened at this year as well. There's just like I don't know.
You
I don't
guys
know if we're
remember the
putting
specific
something
date,
out.
right? Because that's like significant as hell.
Say what?
Oh, sorry. You guys know the specific date because you got to go back on that thread and get that date. You know this.
Yeah, we could go
Oh,
back on a text thread.
I may have to find the date. Yeah, but I mean, there was a moment I have specifically in my brain of like realizing and becoming aware that like, oh man, there's like, uh, I don't know, like a collection of energy that's building up behind this that again we've done it for a while and it just feels good. It's you go up and down and you feel it, so it's good to be feeling that way.
Yep.
Well, dude, I'm on the Missio roller coaster, and it's not like the life's roller coaster, but it's just exhilarating going ups and downs. So keep that shit up.
We got you. Y'all be safe in that
All right. Well,
storm.
you guys. Yeah, it's calming down now, but I was like, well, I'm kind of neighbors to Texas, but I didn't know how bad it was over there because I wasn't really expecting it to be a little nutty like that. But I'm glad there's no tech issues and everything's all good, and puppers are nice and dry now, right?
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye, Sugar.
See you later, sugar.
Thank you, Missio. Bye.
Bye. Let me see. Do I have to press end? I can't. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Oh, hi.
Hey, can you hear us?
Have I talked to them? Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, what's going on, man?
Oh, hi. Um, Nothing. I just wanted to call and like say hi because I don't know. It's just really surprising.
What's your name?
Tyrell.
Tyrell. What's up, man? Thanks so much for calling in. What city are you
Oh,
in?
Winnipeg. I'm from Canada.
Nice.
Very cool.
Still cold,
Yeah.
snowing up there, or is it starting to warm up a bit?
Um, it's actually pretty warm out here now.
Cool. And how'd you hear
Yeah.
about us for the first time?
Back in like 2018, 2019, I used to stay at a tower, and my best friend, which turned into my ex, introduced me to you guys' music, like Bottom of the Deep Blue Sea and like Middle Fingers and stuff.
It's awesome, man. Very cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have any questions?
Um, Honestly,
No, no stress if not,
not
man. We'll
really.
just say what's up.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not sure if this is allowed to ask, but are you guys gonna like do a feature with Grandson? I'm not like I don't know.
Yeah. So we have a song done, and I'm hoping this year's the year that we're gonna be able to drop that because I love this song. I love the meaning behind it. It's just trying to get teams locked in for schedules is kind of the problem we're having right now. But yes, we are
Oh,
hoping very, very much that that's going to come out sooner than later.
Yes, a
oh,
song
okay.
does
Uh,
exist. It is awesome, and it will eventually come out. We're just, it's hard. It's hard to say because, like Matthew said, there's a lot of moving pieces and just a lot of people involved in that project. So we got to make sure that it's the right time
oh,
for everybody. So
okay, yeah. Like a couple Mondays ago when you guys were doing the fan call,
Yep.
I think I was the very last one, but not the last one. Like the second to last, basically the third. I didn't get a chance to. Like it just showed your next, but it ended.
Well, dude, so glad you made it on, man. Hell yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I love your guys' music. Love Behold, the documentary was awesome. And Darker the Weather, the Better the Man. That was my summertime mix.
Awesome. Very
Heck
cool.
yeah.
Well, man, thank you so
Yeah.
much for calling in. Really appreciate it. It's love being able to spend our Monday night with you, all the way up in
All
Canada.
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. See you
Yeah.
later.
Grandson's coming out here. Okay. Yeah. You guys have a good day.
All right, bro. See you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Let's see. All right. Hello.
Hello?
How's it going? Who's this?
Hello? Hey, this is Gina and Earl from Cleveland again.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. She said she finally got a light from the back seat.
Can I get a light from the back seat?
Yeah.
How's y'all's
She
Monday
would like
going?
to know. Oh, it's doing a lot better with you guys back, definitely, man.
Hell yeah.
We've been missing you guys a lot.
Hell yeah. We're back.
Um, she would like to know, as we are introducing more people to your music, what your top 3 songs would be to, like, introduce people to you guys.
Ooh.
Great question. Whew.
Yeah, you go first, D. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's tough. So, I'm thinking. That's so hard, man. Because you like, I think I would choose something like, okay, I'm close. It's forming. I'm forming it here. Okay, I would go with uh, Twisted, I See You, and Can You Feel the Sun? For this reason.
All right, I love all them songs, definitely.
For this reason, because I feel like the overwhelming thing that I personally feel like you have to communicate to somebody that's very difficult to show them Missio is that it's pretty genre diverse, right? So it's like there's like a dark song. They do dark, like aggressive music, like Twisted. We do, very thoughtful, kind of introspective, authentic music like I See You. And then I think there's just an element of fantasy. Like we kind of created a world of like a fantasy world that Can You Feel the Sun? And also just, I don't know, that kind of song just seemed like a thread that I would throw in there. But ask me a different day, I may have a different answer.
Yeah. I'd say Everybody Gets High. I feel like that is such an eclectic song for us. Can You Feel the Sun, but the stripped version, oddly enough. And I See You, probably. Yeah, probably those three.
Yeah. It
Can
also
you
is
feel,
just like,
can you feel
come to a
Sun,
show.
the stripped version for me, it reminds me of old Nick Drake, like from the 60s.
Oh yeah, dude.
And it just shows how ahead of his time he was. Like, I think you were actually maybe the first person to show me Nick Drake. And I was just like, dude, this sounds like modern day. Like this
It
is
sounds
like,
like modern people rip. Like it sounds like he's one of those like retro modern guys. It's no, dude. They're ripping his sound off.
yeah,
Yo. He's the dude.
yeah,
If you don't know Nick Drake, you need to get on that train for sure.
yeah.
It's
Pink
very,
Moon, that song is phew,
yeah.
insane.
I'll definitely look it up.
Yeah, please do. Well, thanks so
All
much for
right.
calling, man. Really, really good talking to y'all again.
Yes, we love you. You guys are amazing. And I fucking hate Mondays, but you're
Same.
ruining that for me because I love it.
Love it too. Thank y'all
Heck yeah.
so much. Yeah. And Mondays can suck, but we're trying to make them just a touch better,
We definitely do. From Cleveland, man. We love you.
Love y'all too. Thanks so much.
Yeah, great talking to you guys.
All right.
See y'all.
Yep.
All right, let's do 2 more. Let's see here. Hello, hello.
We definitely do.
Hello?
From Cleveland.
Hey there. Who's this?
Emily.
Emily, how's it going?
It's good. How are you guys?
Doing well. What part of the world are you in?
I am in Ohio.
Very cool. Hopefully you have survived the Ohio fucking oil spills and all that crazy shit going on. Jesus.
Yep, have not grown any extra limbs yet, unfortunately. Still waiting on that.
Great.
Are you have you seen any of that stuff going on, or are you far from that and kind of safe a little bit?
I think I'm about like 3 hours south of where it happened, so I'm luckily kind of far enough away from it that it's not going to affect too much.
Great. Love hearing that. What?
So I did have a question.
Yeah, what questions?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask what questions you got.
Oh, bear with me. I forgot to take my anxiety meds before this. I'm a little scatterbrained.
All good.
So explain, if you can, the kind of thought process of lyrics being dark versus the melody itself being kind of upbeat. So I'm specifically thinking of Rad Drugs, especially the music video being so heavy, very beautifully done video, but the song itself is kind of like upbeat and happy-ish sounding versus the lyrics being kind of intense.
I can't wait for Matthew to answer this question because I just can't wait. I just can't wait. Give him the answer. Give him your. The reason is because I have an image of what you might say, so I want to hear you answer the question, Matthew.
I don't know what you're expecting me to say.
Okay, well then I'll answer it.
Yeah.
For Matthew, and I have a little bit of this in me. Maybe like a little bit, meaning I'm probably like 75% averse or like allergic to like pop music. And Matthew is like he's kind of like very allergic to it. Like
borderline hate. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
when there's anything that is too like on the nose, we got to mess it up a little bit because it doesn't feel right. And I'm with him on that. You know what I mean? I'm a partner,
Right.
a true partner in crime on that. But I feel like for us to resonate with it, dude, that's just not who we are. We're not like bubblegum pop dudes. So like I don't think we resonate. But we both do love and appreciate a great pop melody. So I think for us as artists, the way we kind of like toe that line is we have to find some middle ground on that. And a lot of times it's kind of like a cheeky, sarcastic thing that we end up at when we stumble on a melody that is too bright for our palates to digest. Is that fair, Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To the a little bit more of an existential answer to that would be, I feel like in society we talk about this all the time, but people make life and decisions. It's either black or it's white, and that's what it is. It's titled this or it's that. And the reality is, there's so much that exists in the gray, and even when it comes to human beings, like we are not just angry one day, we are not just happy one day. We are both angry and happy and sad, right? And there's all these complexities to these emotions, and so well, I love doing that with art and with lyrics and with the way songs sound, where you hear something bright and then it's followed by a dark lyric, because a lot of times that's what fucking life is. It's followed by this moment's amazing, followed by an hour later, fuck this day so hard, fucking hate it. Like that's life. So to be able to kind of bring some of that into music, I think it gives people just a little bit more of a raw feeling and understandability, relatability. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but I just think it helps us be able to communicate a little bit more authentically that way.
Okay. I like that. It makes sense.
Yeah. Love that you love that song, though. I kind of forget about that every once in a while.
One of my favorites.
Hell yeah. We'll need to bring that back the next time we play on tour. I don't think we played that last time.
Yes, that would be amazing.
It's a good live song. Yeah, it really feels good. I miss playing that song. The live set. Oh, it's gonna be so hard, dude.
Yeah. Is this the same Emily that's on Twitter? Or is that different Emily?
Yes.
Okay.
The crested gecko that splooged on my hand.
I'm trying to. It's hard on this platform because I can't see faces and some of the screen names change. But I'm starting to put a few people two and two together. So thank you so much, Emily, for calling. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. All right. We'll do one more. Who's gonna be the lucky last person? Let's see. Hey, it's Missio.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? Who's this?
Dalton.
Dalton. Artist Dalton?
I'm in Missouri. Yeah, that's me.
Dude, what's up, man? I still have a bunch of your art.
That's amazing. That makes me really happy, considering a lot of that's kind of old at this point.
Dude, like 6-7 years, because the first loner drawing you did, that's the one that I have in my, I have a binder full of lyrics, and I just put that as the cover to it. And you've sent a couple more, I think, since then. But yeah, dude, that's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, I first saw you guys in 2017 when you played Edgefest. And I've been on the train since and seen you guys every time you hit Kansas City since. So
cool, man.
Wow, dude. You mean Edgefest in Dallas? That one?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that was like maybe second or third show we ever played. If I'm not, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Matthew. That was like
it was the first festival we played ever. I mean, sure.
Yeah. I remember at that festival, I was like having like, I idolized Blink-182 growing up, and like there's Travis Barker walking by. I was just having all these moments where I was like, is this real life? What is happening? But that just brought back so many memories for me, man. That was
your Ableton push almost melted that day too.
Oh my God, dude! I couldn't
Yeah.
see the thing on stage. That's right. The sun was too bright. Oh, so many memories.
No, I just happened to be there because Blink-182 and 311 were playing a show together. So I was like, I got to be there. And my parents and I went, and we watched your guys' set. And I knew one of your, I can't remember if it was Middle Fingers or Bottom of the Deep Blue Sea was out at that point. But I mean, it's before the album even came out. So it was early, obviously.
Yeah.
But I instantly fell in love with you guys after that, though.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
you've been to quite a few shows, I think. I mean, I've seen you at maybe 4. Does that sound right?
I was gonna say I can think of 5 or 6 where I've seen you guys.
Dude, were you at the Kansas City show where we showed up like super late? Were you at that one?
Maybe.
There was a Kansas City show that I will also never forget where one of our crew guys filled our entire van up, which ran on diesel with gasoline. We had to call a guy out to siphon the Sprinter. And dude, we rolled into KC like, dude, we met our current tour manager that night in Kansas City, you know, like on the craziest night of our lives. It seemed like rolling in there, like the whole crowd was in the building, like applauding us as we're like checking the gear in from the van. Like, dude, the least rock star moment, but that was a memory for me as well.
For sure. But question wise, and this is one that I actually asked you, I think it was the last time I saw you guys, was what's it like to go from, you know, playing at Edgefest where you're not to be in a rude way, like one of the first bands to play that day, and like you said, one of the first shows you've ever played, to just where you are now in your career. How has that kind of shifted your mindset on everything you guys do?
That's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give Matthew a compliment on this one because I feel like
I love compliments.
The hardest thing that we both had to figure out, but really Matthew had to figure out, is like, what the fuck to say on stage? What do we do? How do we lead an experience? I mean, it's one thing to write songs or be able to make some sounds come through a speaker. That's something we both love doing at our deepest selves. But then figuring out how to go on stage in front of 150 people to like 5,000 people and figure out how to get them to engage with you, like that show, that first Dallas show, we were like, we were trying to figure out how to just play music together still. I mean, it was there, but now we can go on stage and like we're like a united force, and like Matthew has a confidence and a platform to speak on, like kind of like because we've played hundreds and hundreds of shows, and we kind of have whittled it down to kind of like how do we do this, and there's a confidence that comes from that after doing it hundreds of times.
Thank you, man. That's very sweet. I would say I went through a period of time where I was taking a lot for granted because things were happening so fast. We were getting opportunity after opportunity, and the label was hitting us up, this opportunity, da-da-da-da-da. And it was just being thrown so quickly that I was like, yeah, like, of course, like, this is the shit. And then I reached this point where I was kind of like, I'm getting so lost into the amount of work that we're doing that my entire personality, my entire vibe is becoming Missio, and what can Missio provide? And if people don't know that I'm in Missio, I'm not going to be able to speak into somebody's life the same way, or yada, yada, yada. And I don't know when this switched, but it was because of just playing show after show after show and kind of getting through some of that, like just the grind, where I really started to notice I need to be thankful. Like every single opportunity that comes in, just be thankful. Like enjoy every moment. There's going to be shit that hits the fan all the time. We're going to have TMs that shit the bed. We're going to like everything you can imagine on the road can happen. But I think that underlying attitude of just, and I'm so grateful. Like I'm really grateful we get to keep doing this. I'm fucking pissed right now, but I'm so grateful that this is still my life. And that repetition and just continuing to like remind myself of just be grateful, man. Just be grateful. It's been the best, and that's because I'm surrounded by David and our producer Dwight and Jade and our drummer, just like amazing human beings that we're just always, coming together and just like helping each other through the world and learning some of those things together. So,
Well,
but
yeah,
yeah, it's a good
touring's like
start.
life. Touring's like life in a microscope condensed down, and it's like so easy to miss the good times because there's a million uncomfortable, bad, like stressful things that happen on the road that will still your joy like instantly. And I think it's kind of a skill that you have to learn to like how to function amongst all that chaos on the road and still find your happy place, do the show, get everything working, get your rest, stay healthy, get the food that you want, all the things like, find your comfort, like get your quiet time, your alone time, all the things that you kind of feel starved for. Like that's really the challenge of like putting on a good show every night or whatever, is like staying in a happy headspace. It's really hard to do on the road sometimes. And so learning how to do that has been, but like to Matthew's point, it's really like comes down to having people around you that are like kind of united in that a little bit and can help when inevitably we're good about this. Matthew and I, like when he's having a bad day, a lot of times I can help, balance it out, and vice versa. I'll have him too, and
For
he's
sure.
really good about it. So that's really what you learn. You learn you have to have a family, and it takes a whole fucking team, man. It's hard because it's hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that with a fucked up shoulder right now. It's just like, God damn. Body, please work. Please
It's
work.
also awesome. I love some of my friends. I've made some incredible memories out there on the road.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, Dalton, thank you
Also-
so much for calling, man. Really appreciate it. That was a great question.
Thank you. Also, before I go, I just wanted to say I was supposed to be at your guys' Dallas show last year, and I was so bummed that it got canceled.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on that.
Holy man! Every time you talk about a show, it's like an iconic memory in my mind. Jeez.
I drove to Dallas that morning, and I was
Oh.
getting ready in my hotel room when I saw it was canceled. I was so bummed.
I'm so
Dude,
sorry,
let me tell you directly, man to man, we did you a favor. That show, I'm not even joking, was so unsafe. Someone would have
Fair
had to
enough.
have gone to the hospital that night because of the heat. At the amount of people that had bought tickets to that show, it was the most unacceptable situation that I've ever walked into as an artist performing. And so I felt terrible, like knowing there were people out there like you who had traveled to the show. I mean, we definitely took that into consideration, but obviously it was just like, it was a sad lose-lose, felt like a lose-lose situation that was out of our control. But man, I'm sorry about that. And for anyone out there that had to experience that, definitely we apologize.
Yep, for sure.
I won't hold it against you. I just I was very bummed for sure,
Bro,
because I
dude.
wasn't able to make it to the scheduled date. But
Yeah, I walked
I'll get
into
you
that
guys
building
back to
and
Kansas
Matthew
City.
did too, and we were just like, this.
Oh no, we lose you, D?
Maybe.
Oh man, getting tech issues in the last minute. Shit. All right, Dalton, we're gonna let you go, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Take care.
All right, see y'all. Sorry, D. I don't know where you went, man. You're frozen. In the last minute, we fucking made it. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Monday again. I know y'all have kids and are busy and all kinds of crazy shit. So thank you on behalf of David and myself. Thank you so much for just continuing to support us and all that you do and loving on us and annoying us sometimes and all the amazing things that y'all do. So we got a lot of shit coming your way. We'll let you know. I don't think that we're going to be doing Missio Mondays every single week, but we are going to be doing a couple times a month. So we'll probably do every other week if that works for everybody. But keep your eyes and your ears open for